Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content that I'm making, please click that subscribe button. Also remember to click that bell button and make sure to tick that box to send all notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. With that in mind, let's get on with the video. What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And in this video we're going to be talking about the new character event for KUJA taking the God stage. And this video will be concentrating on the level 70 co-op quests. So if you're looking for the level 80 EX quests, that will be on a separate video which will come out later today when I get the chance, but I might be playing Dragon Quest 11, so I'll get on to that. I have already finished recording, I've already finished the quest, and it's just editing to do. So anyway, without further ado, let's start with this video. Okay, on the KUJA event, at least the level 70 co-op, we only have access to one wave of the fight. And this is a little bit different. We've been getting a lot of two-wave fights recently, and now we're back to one wave, which I don't mind at all. In this fight, we're going to be taking down the Mother Weed. Now, she normally starts the fight by herself, but she will summon some adds later on. So, let's take a look at her resistances and weaknesses. So the Mother Weed has weaknesses to fire, ice, water, and holy elements, and she has a resistance to dark, which is a little bit irrelevant because there's only a few characters that actually use dark type attacks. But in any case, try to avoid bringing those characters. As for her abilities, she has access to Tentacle Slap, which is a melee brave attack, Impale, which is a melee HP attack and can inflict poison and speed down. She also has access to Munch, which is a melee brave attack as well, and this inflicts defense down. She has Prickly Pummel, which is a group melee brave attack plus an HP attack. And she also has access to the notorious Fetid Breath, which is a group brave magic attack and has a high chance of inflicting blind, speed down, and poison. Now, she normally, I do believe, will use Fetid Breath if she has more than half HP. And then the more notorious ability called Stench is what she will get when she gets in the lower percentage of her HP, which is a group brave magic attack and has a high chance of inflicting blind, speed down, poison, attack down, and defense down. Good luck. And then she has access to photosynthesis, which is it grants her HP regen plus a speed up. Now, she normally would use photosynthesis if you kill all the adds, which are the weedlets. So it's up to you guys whether you actually want to kill the weedlets. I suggest not. I suggest just concentrating down on the Mother Weed and let the weedlets survive, as long as you don't kill them off intentionally. If you are using KUJA, you will probably kill them with the Ultima 9 ability, so just be careful. Next is the Motherly Love, which is it grants her defense up, attack up, and brave regen to all her allies. And finally, Assembly Drum is basically the ability which summons the weedlets. Now, I actually won't cover the weedlets too much because it only has access to 3 abilities, which is Tentacle Slap, Impale, and Munch, which are all part of Mother Weed's abilities. So yeah, anyway, I think that's it for the weaknesses, resistances, and abilities. Now it's time to take a look at some general tips and guide for this fight. Alright, so for my first tip, and since this is only a one-wave fight, use your damn abilities. I still see a lot of people who don't actually use their abilities and use normal attacks. I remember there was this Yuna that kept just using normal attacks. For God's sakes, you have access to like 7-8 Asunas. Use them. I just can't think why people won't use their abilities. It's a one-way fight. There's no point in holding back. Just keep using your abilities and make this fight a lot faster for everyone else. And believe me, a lot of people will actually give you a thumbs up for doing that. For my next tip is to obviously bring in the boosted characters, which is KUJA, Yuna, and Setzer. Now, a quick explanation. Now that we're going through the token system, it's actually recommended to bring in boosted characters to get extra rewards. And what Square Enix has done is basically separated two different types of playstyle, which is just for fun and boosted characters. If you are a guest, I suppose you just have to be a little bit mindful if you do join the boosted characters and you don't bring in a boosted characters, that some hosts will not like this. They are hosting that game because for the sole reason of getting more rewards. So I have seen a few people who went to a boosted character game and then they didn't bring a boosted characters, and some of the hosts will just quit and, you know, disband the party. Just be mindful that people who are actually hosting these boosted characters, some of them will not like the idea of not having all the rewards that are available, because, you know, it is their link bell. So just be mindful of that. I have been in a lot of boosted characters game that some people didn't bring the boosted characters and we still went and everything went fine, but obviously there is some people who don't like this idea, so just be mindful of that. But going on with the general tips and guides, the other characters that I consider quite helpful here are Vaughn, Aiko, Prish, Papalymo, Cater, and Ash. Now, these are all characters that can take advantage of the weaknesses of the boss. Now, don't really have to bring these characters. Obviously, if you have Lightning, which is a great DPS character, you can always bring her along as well. But I'm just listing down the characters that can, you know, possibly take advantage of the boss's weakness. Which brings me to my fourth tip, which is to take advantage of the boss's multiple weaknesses, which are fire, ice, water, and holy elements. As for my next tip is to actually bring in healers and brave batteries, as you will be taking quite a lot of HP damage in this fight. It's not necessary, but as a precaution of sorts, if you have low DPS, having someone who can heal up the party may prove to be helpful. And for my next tip is basically for the summon that you can bring I would recommend Sylph and Chocobo for the summon, for the sole reason that this is only one wave, and while Ifrit, Shiva, and Leviathan may work, or even Alexander, which I didn't write it down, they can actually work, but they do take too long to summon. Plus, you will be taking quite a bit of HP damage, so if you are bringing Ifrit, it might not be as helpful or useful unless you have a healer. So just I mean, there's still, you can still do it, but people would probably prefer you bring Chocobo or Sylph so you can summon it quite quicker and end the fight a lot quicker as well. As for my final tip, guys, is probably try not to kill the weedlets, because when she summons them and then you kill it before you kill the mother weed, she will most likely use photosynthesis, which means she will actually get an HP regen, which will make the fight a lot longer. So just something to think about there. And I do believe that's all for my general tips and guides, and it's time now for my final thoughts on this fight. So I would rate this fight to be, I would say it's a little bit harder than the Kane fight. It feels like it has a lot more HP, and those statuses, man, they're pretty annoying, especially on the EX. And I will be making a video of the EX, of course. I've already done the recording, and my first try was pretty bad. I had to do a couple tries to actually be able to beat the fight, and I actually feel like it's quite hard. So I guess a couple more things that I would like to mention is the boss has actually resistances to blind and speed down. It's only a low resistance, but it is a resistance nonetheless, but you can still inflict them, of course, and it doesn't have immunities or anything like that, or any high resistance to any other statuses. So I just like to throw it out there because that's not actually in Dissidia DB. If you're actually using Dissidia DB to look into the abilities and weaknesses, but it is available in game. So if you actually tap into the monster or the boss on the screen, it will show that it has resistance, a low resistance to blind and speed down. So there you go. Other than that, I don't think I left anything out, but if I did, please leave down in the comments below and let me know what I missed. And obviously I want to know what characters you use for this fight, and like I said earlier, bringing the boosted characters will net you more rewards now, so it is actually encouraged for you to actually use the boosted characters. Anyway guys, I think that's it for this video. Remember to click like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful at all. As always, I'd like to hear from you guys what you think of this fight, and again, the characters that you prefer to bring in this particular fight. And did you actually get a lot of the 35 CP weapon and 15 CP weapon for the boosted characters banner? And I, for one, have gotten Eunice 35 CP, and I got in KUJA's 35 CP as well, but I never got his 15 CP weapon, unfortunately. And so now I'm sort of stuck and don't have any more gems to spend at this point in time, and I'm just wishing that my tickets will pull out the 15 CP weapon. But yeah, make sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter at Munchkins Gaming, guys. This is Munchkins logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.